Oh my, yes. The men, some men, they walked along in the grey trousers, They went full to the boots, carrying with them chains which they attach to a wall, threads of time, links in the day. The woman who has her charm, the woman who is there, the woman is there in her dress, and she has her display of speech. She has her tapestry. Clouds are in the sky. We be known to them who are in the sky. For the occasion. Wow. Actually, now I remember 2001, I decided, I don't know why I did this, because I don't know why I did this, because I thought I'm going to, I don't know why I felt that I had to go back to this, but I decided I would keep being a houseman, even though it wasn't suited to me. And so I called a few hotels around Sydney, and they said, no, we don't have anything vacant, or I've got to fill out an application form, or it's too difficult. And so I contacted Stamford Plaza, and I happened to, and this is a list of hotels that I contacted. I contacted Stamford Plaza Hotel and Wynyard, and the guy said there might be something available soon. There might be. And what happened was I ended up calling him every second or third day. And after about the 6th or 7th phone call, I said, "Listen, mate," he said, "this is a lot." He said, "Yeah, maybe there's something available here." I was calling him every day saying, "Is this position available yet? Is this position available here?" And he said, "Geez, you're determined." I said, "Try and get a job." And really could have really picked anything that I had wanted, but because in my mind at the time I thought, well, I've done this. I did this at the Mercure Hotel at Central, and I'll just, merely because I had the experience of it. And so he says, "Look, come in, have a chat with me." He said, "Look, just stop calling." And so he said, "Look." So what happened was this manager guy said, "You just got to stop." I was very persistent about it, and he gave me a position as a houseman at Wynyard, Stamford Plaza at Wynyard, and he did that, and that was okay. Wasn't too bad. I didn't do any room attending there. In fact, I was downstairs in the basement, They had the laundry chute. You had the different levels of the hotel, and the laundry chute was at the ground level. And I happened to be next to the storeman. I was next to the storeman's headquarters, and a guy there who was about my age. And he was from a different area of the hotel I was. The storeman office happened to be pretty much next to the laundry chute, about 10 metres of difference. I ended up getting along very well with him. Now, there was a guy from a hotel somewhere in the middle of the city, and he would visit about twice a week perhaps. He was older than me, and he would come down he was an executive housekeeper. He would get along with my boss, whom I got along fairly. It was a bit of a weird working relationship I had with him. It was a bit of a he was a good guy. He was an assertive guy. He had a sense of humour. Don't know if he completely respected me. He was he went by the guidelines, and I do remember him, and got along okay. Yes, slightly alternative guy in a sense. Yeah. Yeah. This other executive housekeeper from a different home, Stamford, in the middle of the city, Chinatown, I think in Chinatown, he would come and visit the hotel a couple of times, about once or twice a week, to do things, to help out, to have a chat. And he'd often come down to the laundry chute, and I'd be there and say, "Hey Pat, how you doing?" And he'd give me a bit of a helping hand. He'd help everyone out. He did this on a number of occasions. And I remember and then I think what happened was the Wynyard Plaza was closing down. We knew it was closing down. And he said, if you need a, he said, if you, oh, this light, why does it give me grief? That way. We'll just get to, okay. He said, if you need a job, he said, if you need a job, because he was a very positive person. He was a very positive person. He used to say a lot of good things toward me. He was very good toward me, with me. We got along. He was older, good guy. And he said, hey, if you need a job, you know where I am. I'm in the middle of the city, just up there. And I ended up taking him up on that. And so what happened, Wynyard closed down, and I was going to go to the airport or to Circular Quay, but everything was crossed wires. And one day I was going to the airport, the next day I was going to Circular Quay. No one ever approached me and said, Pat, we're going to transfer you here. No one said a bloody word to me. No one said a word to me. Everyone else was told me, and I would just say to certain people, oh, I'm going to go to. I'd end up saying things like, oh, I'm going to go to the airport, and they wouldn't say anything. They'd be silent. So, oh, I'm going to go to the airport, and they say, oh, I'm just going to go into Circular Quay. Nothing official was ever said to me. And I'm like, I think something official should be. Even by the last day I was there, I said, oh, I'll just go to Circular Quay, and they were silent. Didn't say anything to me. Everyone else was set. I said, oh, I'll go to Circular Quay, which I actually did, and that didn't go down well because I literally turned up and they said, well, first of all, I went to Circular Quay. I said, I'm here for housekeeping. They said, who are you? I said, from Wynyard, Stamford Plaza Wynyard. As this closed down, I said, we're aware of that. I said, I'm here to start. They said, you are? I said, yeah. And they said, who are you? I said, well, I'm from Wynyard. I'm ready to start. They said, yeah, but who are you? I said, just told you that. And they said, we have no knowledge of you or anything. And I said, whatever. And I said, oh. Well, they said, yeah, go sort it out. And I said, well, why don't you help me sort it out right now? And I said, why would we? So I walked away. No one had helped me. So what I did do, and because that other guy who used to visit the hotel, I went up to the mid-city. I went up to Chinatown, and I walked into that hotel. Walked in there, walked into housekeeping. That guy was there with his housekeeping boys around him, with his housekeeping staff, and a few of the guys around him. I said, hey, how you doing? And he saw me, and the look on his face, he couldn't have been more bewildered and mortified, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I could hear in the headlights, I said, hey, how you doing? I can't remember his name now. And he said, he was like, what are you doing? Well, when you, in the past, when you turned up somewhere and someone was like, what are you doing here? oh yeah, what are you doing here? And that's exactly the look on his face. It was like, what are you doing here? And he said, I said, oh, hey, remember you said you need a job, come down here? Well, I need a job. Hi, I'm here. And he said, yeah, I got my boys here. I'm fully staffed. You should have contacted me first. I said, you said just turn up. He said, take me up on any time. So I'm here. And he's like, it got awkward, and because he used to be always very, very good to me. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And so we had a couple of awkward exchanges, and he said, I don't have anything at the moment, but maybe leave your resume, leave your name. I'm like, I've been having conversations with you regularly for the last 3 months. What do you mean, leave my resume? And so I left, and that was that. And that was the end of my days in housekeeping. Yes. The nightmare. And that's how that went down. That's how that went down. Indeed-o, indeed-o, indeed-o. And their spaceship, on their spaceship with their details in red and in green. They hawk. They have their bursts, red and green. They come down into the atmosphere from their spaceship too. And collectively together, we can, only I, not collectively, but just I, to embrace. What method? I don't see any method. Wait! Let's get me a screwdriver. I'll show you which method it is. I can bolt that onto the end. Well, let's just see now, shall we? Well, I'm the wingman. I'm the wingman. Now, for a bit of sanity in the moment. Well, now, I wasn't ready for that. Now, let's see, let's see what that other. What is to say about it all?